Okay. Man. Oh, boy. Hello. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. Man, I'm so annoyed. I'm so utterly disgusted by this result. Zoom in a little more. This was just an unacceptable effort by the New York Knicks in Game 5 in a game where they could close out a series and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals the first time in 25 years. And they let themselves get blown out by 25. I am utterly disgusted. Disgusted by this result. This is an incredibly frustrating team. Sometimes I think if the Knicks, that we saw, that overcame Detroit Pistons, who battled their asses off without much outside shooting, pushed the Knicks to 6 games, and then you watch the Knicks come back from 2 20-point deficits to win 2 road games in Boston against the defending champions. You think, okay, this team has got something. And then they give up game 1 at home and then rally. Tremendous game 4. And your opponent loses their best player, an all-NBA player, Jason Tatum, and you go to their home court and you're tied 59 all at halftime, and you come out in the second half and completely shit yourself. Like, there was poopy in each of those Knicks shorts tonight. By the time they all had to go into the locker room, they had poopy in their shorts. That's how fucked up that result was. This is utterly unacceptable. To think that there are only a few teams left still playing, and this is the effort the Knicks give tonight, and Jalen Brunson fouls out in the fourth quarter with 0 fouls. Oh no, 1 foul. 1 foul going into the fourth. And he commits 5 fouls in the fourth quarter? You're the closer. Where is your situational awareness? Where is Tom Thibodeau's situational awareness? How come you didn't call timeouts when we needed it? This is an unacceptable response from the New York Knicks. Unacceptable. I've had it. Thank you guys for waiting. I really appreciate it. I needed some time to gather. I was also dealing with some stuff with my neighbor. My neighbor's an old man. He's being fucking ripped off by some people. They're trying to scam him. It's really sad. So I was literally just talking to cops about it before I came on here. New York Knicks lose 125-102 in Game 5. Now the series is 3-2. Why? Why did you allow that to happen? Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And the timeout calling was a major issue in this game. Thibs, I don't know what you were thinking, especially in that third quarter. I don't know what you were thinking. Knicks got outscored 68-43 in that second half. Man, worst second half of the playoffs for the New York Knicks. Terrible. Poopy diapers. Exactly. Poopy diapers. Incredible. Shout out to the chat. Lex, thanks for joining me here. We got Taka in the house. Tomato Nader. Paradise Lost. Silvery Gray. Thank you guys. Sandman. Thank you guys for joining me here. I went live because, I wanted to see everyone's reactions here. I'm just completely disgusted by this result. Completely disgusted. $127-102. To think that this was once tied 59 apiece at the beginning of or at the end of the second quarter, just crazy. Robert Lefkowitz, which I think is Papa Left. Looks like him in the photo. Shout out to you. Beautifully said here. This was shared to me by JD. JD shared this with me in a couple other tweets. I'm going to share them with you. Boston also knew they were without Tatum. We didn't. That was obvious. We didn't look prepared, and honestly, we threw away a whole second half of basketball where we could have figured him out a little bit. Beautifully said. And then Ari from Manhattan. Your only fucking job was to guard Derek White. That was literally it. Let him go. Not let him go off. Insane this is happening. I swear Jalen Brunson saving Thibs' ass. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. New York basketball. This is like the major bright spot, which is also brings to mind, why didn't Thibs call a timeout in that third quarter when the game was getting out of hand? It was a tie game at one time at the half. At the beginning of the third quarter, it was a tie game. Once it goes up to 8 points and then 10, timeout. Get Mitch back in the game. But no, he waited until it was completely out of hand, like a 16 or 18 point deficit. Mitchell Robinson off the bench in Game 5 as Boston extends series. He was 6 for 6 from the line, so you can't even hold that against him. He hit his free throws. 13 rebounds, game high. 6 offensive rebounds, game high. 2 steals and a block. He played his ass off in this game. He played like he understood what was at stake. Now, the New York Knicks have to go home, Game 6, and close it out there. But if they give this same kind of effort at home, we're talking about a Game 7. That's what we're talking about. And then Kat, explain. You guys explain to me this. How can the self-professed greatest shooting big man in the history of the NBA only get 4 3-point attempts in 5 games in the second half? How does that happen? It's got to be coaching. I mean, yes, you could put it on the player and you could put it on his teammates, but ultimately, it's the coach that calls the plays. How is this possible? Not a single 3-point attempt from Karl-Anthony Towns in the second half. Just 1 in the last game, and 2 in Game 3. Nothing in Game 2. Only 1 in Game 1. That is a fireable offense, as far as I'm concerned. That is a fireable offense. And then Barbara Barker, this New York basketball, once again, just fantastic Twitter account, the way they're holding it down. Third quarter, have you ever gotten 5 fouls in a quarter like that? Jalen Brunson responds, 5 fouls in a quarter? I don't know what you want me to say to that. Barker, I mean, how crazy was that quarter? Was the quarter? Jalen Brunson, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm sorry. That was his response to that. We're not even going to look at this yet. Let's go to this. This is the stat line. You know what? Before I show you this, we're going to come back to this. I'm going to show you this. Tweet by the Strickland. Because Cat's foul trouble was the reason we lost, which is lame to say. It's something we should easily overcome, but it's the reason we lost. This was called a foul on Cat. Where's the foul? Seriously, in proportion to the way the fouls have been called in this playoffs. Where's the foul? Well, guess what? You guys called the foul on him there. And the New York Knicks pretty much folded after that. Because he picked up his fourth foul there. I think that was his fourth foul. And then Thibs could not really play him as many minutes as he wanted to. Here are the stats right now. Anunoby, 1 for 12. Dude, 1 for 12? Are you hurt? 1 for 5 from the three-point line? I can't even believe what I'm looking at. You shot 8.3%. Not even double digits. Josh Hart, who, had to get stitches in his upper left eye there because he was hit by an elbow and there was blood gushing down all over him. He finishes 7 of 15, 5 of 9 from the three-point line for Josh Hart. Fabulous offensive game for him. He was the high man with 24 points, but he was a minus 25. Minus 25. Towns, 5 of 11. Only 11 field goal attempts for your 7-footer that you traded away. Two guys who could easily both average 11 field goal attempts in a game. Towns, 5 of 11, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 8 rebounds, 19 points, a minus 20. 4 personal fouls. Jalen Brunson fouls out of this game with 22 points, minus 18. This might go down as, this has to be one of the most disappointing games of the year for these Knicks. Has to be. It was right there for them. They could have fucking won this game right. They could have won this series tonight. It was right there for them. Wow. The more that I even look at this stuff, the more I'm completely appalled by it. Here are the team comparisons. The New York Knicks could only score 102 points tonight, but they allowed the Celtics to score 127 points without Jason Tatum. Knicks were out-rebounded, out-assisted. Celtics had 12 blocks. Knicks committed, 10 turnovers is good normally, but Celtics only created 8 turnovers. The field goal shooting, look at that, 52.4% to 35.8%. 3-point shooting, actually 40% is good 3-point shooting, but you allow the Celtics to shoot almost 45%. The free throws did go the Knicks' way, but you couldn't even notice it in the final box score where the Knicks lost by 25. Points in the paint, Knicks won that. They were plus 10, but second chance opportunities, they were minus 2. Boston 16-14, and fast break points, Boston was a plus 5 there, 9-4, so it starts to begin to even out. Man, this is really, really disturbing to look at this stuff. The biggest lead for the Celtics was 128, which was basically what it was towards the end of the game. They were tied 6 times. Longest run was 11, and there were 11 lead changes. The Knicks once led this game by 9 early in the second quarter. But once they allowed the Celtics to get back in this game in that second quarter, I felt warning signs. I felt like maybe this could be one of those nights. And then it turned into it, almost at the go in the second half. Wow. That is truly disturbing. Let's look at the first half stats here. In the first half, the Knicks were holding it down. They were shooting 47% from the three-point line, but only 40% overall. So they were not doing their job inside the arc. They were 11 of 30 inside the arc, and that's where the Knicks have been feasting of late. Meanwhile, the Celtics, they were shooting 48% from the three-point line and 50% overall. But the Knicks and Celtics were tied at the half, 59 all. And mostly is because of, the Knicks had 5 additional field goal attempts here, 5 additional ones. But then when you look at the second half was a whole other story. And really, let's look at the third quarter first. In the third quarter, the New York Knicks were outscored by 15. They shot 4 of 20 from the field, 20%. They got 11 rebounds and committed 4 turnovers and committed 10 personal fouls and could only score 17 points in that quarter. 17 points. Where the Celtics came out firing, man. 44.4%. They went to the free throw line 18 times. Luckily for the Knicks, they only connected on 12 of them, 66%. So this could have been even worse. This minus 15 could have been like a minus 21. So the Knicks lucked out there, but the Knicks were outscored 32-17, and that really was the game because they could not actually wake up for the fourth quarter at all. In the fourth quarter, the New York Knicks continued their doldrums, shooting 2 of 6 from the three-point line, about 43% overall. They lost the third quarter, the fourth quarter, 36-26. Derek White was fantastic in this game. Peyton Pritchard delivered big time for them. This is just one of those games where you just scratch your head. What were you guys think? What were you thinking, New York? What were you thinking? Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here. We got Johnny Davis in the house, Thrifty by Nature, Nicholas Joseph, what's up? Cam Warwick, Woody, Stephanie, Nick Yak. That's right, Lex. No contributions from guys like Payne and Shaman. Silvery Gray says, the Knicks have driven me to eyeball small market teams for a semblance of competence. Hello, OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Memphis, Sacramento, and others. That's funny. And then Woody Stephanie Lee says the NBA is not allowing 4-1. Look, the refs were definitely a problem in this game. 100% a problem in this game. I showed you this play already. Yeah, the refs were definitely a problem, but you still have to figure out a way to overcome it. The Indiana Pacers did. They overcame it, and they closed out their series 4-1. We should have done it tonight. This is an utter, unacceptable response tonight. The New York Knicks did not come in with the urgency that is required to close a championship team out, even without Tatum. I think once again, the subconsciously satisfied aspect to them is real. It's too real. These Knicks literally need a gun to their head. I mean, that's an exaggeration. I hate to use that metaphor. Whatever. They need to like feel that it's do or die for them to be able to respond and give us the response that's needed. So the question becomes, what's going to happen in Game 6? They're coming back to the Garden. You know, do I think the Knicks are going to close it out in Game 6? I do. I believe that. But I believe they could have closed it out tonight. And they did not. Wow. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock, guys. Sorry. So let's look at this. Ian Begley tweeted tweeted this out. Knicks loss in Game 5 means Eastern Conference Finals will start May 21st. Here's the confirmed schedule for Indiana versus Boston, Knicks or Boston. First game will be next Wednesday, a week from today. And hopefully it'll be the Knicks, because if it's not, many heads will roll. If it's not, I think even Leon Rose's head might roll. Honestly, you know what? Honestly, right now, if the Knicks do not advance, Leon should be fired, along with Thibodeau, along with everybody. Just fire the whole fucking lot. Fire them all. Because if they cannot assemble a team and a coach that understands the ramifications of the moment and deliver a fucking victory after being up 3-1, they should all be fucking shown the door. This is fucking unacceptable. Unacceptable. Look at this. Fucking Bridges and Anunoby couldn't even get 20 points combined. 9 for Mikal, 6 for OG. What the fuck, OG? Are you playing hurt? What's going on? 1 for 12? 1 for 12? That's crazy. These two fucks, they combined for 5 of 26. That is crazy shit. Make your buckets. Man, you wasted a beautiful Josh Hart effort. Josh Hart had a fantastic game statistically. 24 points, 5 of 9 from the three-point line, 7 of 15 overall. 7 rebounds and 2 assists. Deuce was playing a good game, and so was Mitch. But Thibs, why did you wait so fucking long to bring those guys back in that third quarter? The game was out of hand. It was spiraling out of control. Boston was feeling good, and they were at home. That you call a timeout early and get those guys in the game. But you didn't. You waited an additional 2 more possessions. And then we were down, 15, 18 at that point. Just really, truly a disgusting effort from the coaching staff as well tonight. Here's the plus minus. Tells you the whole story. Minus 25 for Mikal Bridges. Minus 15 for OG Anunoby. Minus 20 for Karl Anthony Towns, who got his fucking stupid ass into foul trouble in the first half and completely crippled the Knicks' chances of building a nice lead. You played like a fool, Cat. Like a fool. Not a single assist. 19. You couldn't even get 20 points. And you had what? 3 3-point attempts. Come on, bro. Look at yourself in the mirror, Cat. Karl Anthony Towns. Look at yourself in the mirror, man. You were the number 1 draft pick. The Knicks traded some of their best players they've ever had for you. And you give us this? Unacceptable. Meanwhile, Boston, without Jason Tatum, their best player, deliver 6 players with double figures. 6. Luke Cornett, who I don't think can jump higher than 2 inches off the ground, finishes 5 of 5, 10 points, 9 rebounds for him. I mean, good for him as an individual, but sucks for the Knicks. Sucks for us fans. and Derek White, the only guy that should have been of concern, because Jaylen Brown hasn't been that great this series without even like hyper focusing on him. Yes, he had a nice game, 9 of 17, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, 8 rebounds, 12 assists, 26 points. That's a great stat line. But, I mean, that's not necessarily like a world beater stat line. It's not like he did that and he got 46 points. No, 26 points. You could have easily won this game if you just shut fucking Derek White down. Why wasn't OG Anunoby on Derek White like white on rice from the go? Just completely suffocate him, make him like reconsider his entire life choices by the way you're defending him. But no, just let him get shots off left and right. He attempted 13 3-pointers and connected on 7 of them. Over 50%. Over 50. In fact, Derek White shot. Derek White shot 54% from the 3-point line against the New York Knicks. Horford, 66% from the 3-point line. Brown, 60% from the 3-point line. Drew Holiday, 66% from the 3-point line. Sam Hauser, 40% from the 3-point line. They attempted 49 3-pointers. They took 19 additional 3-pointers than the New York Knicks and buried 10 more. And that's why you got your asses kicked. That's a 30-point disparity. Man. The defense was horrific. I mean, were you switching? What were you doing? I'm not even sure what the game plan was. Not even sure. Who was even was anyone even doing anything offensively for the Knicks? Not a single Knick other than Josh Hart. How weird is that to say? The only Knick who was really doing anything offensively was Josh Hart. I have said repeatedly to everyone who will listen that when Josh Hart is hitting his threes, the Knicks are near unbeatable. Well, tonight was completely subverted that. You shot 55% from the 3-point line on 9 attempts, gave us 15 points from the 3-point line, and the Knicks could not convert that into a W. Because they only shot 30 fucking threes. Why? Why are you shooting only 33s? Why are you shooting 19 less threes than the Boston Celtics? Why? You cannot lose. It's mathematically impossible to win. You need a miracle moment situation to win when you shoot 19 less 3-pointers. Some teams shoot 19 3-pointers in a game. That's how much less the Knicks shot than the Boston Celtics. Wow. Wow. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here. I see Miguel P in the house. Margaret Edwards, what's up, brother? Nicholas Joseph, Droop the Loop. Thank you. I mean, we got a great crowd in here. I haven't been able to look at what you guys have been saying closely yet, but I will look at it later on. I mean, Thrifty by nature, you're absolutely right. Embarrassing, totally embarrassing result. We were humiliated. Now, look. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Here's this. This is just the situation. Did I think there was like a high probability that the Celtics were gonna like rally because their leader went down, and they were gonna rally at home and win a game 5. I did think that. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I feared that we would lose this game. But to lose by 25, that is just a whole other layer of concern that I have now. It's one thing to lose, in a tight battle, and they just hit a couple of great shots, and maybe some foul calls don't go your way, and you lose whatever, 117 or 114 or whatever. It shows you were there. You were in the game. No, you guys completely folded up tent, and I feel like you guys were already on the plane back to New York mentally at halftime. You were tied 59-0, and then you just give it up. You lose by 25 in the second half. Wow. You were humiliated, Knicks. You were totally humiliated. That's got to sting. And if it doesn't, I don't want to know what. I mean, I can't even conjecture to think about what could happen in Game 6. In game. God, my God. If you guys put out this effort in Game 6, and we're going back to Boston for a Game 7, you might lose. And if you lose this series, there will be the most catastrophic playoff loss in the history of the New York Knicks. I'm not even kidding about that. I don't know about you guys, but man, I'm really hurt. I'm really wounded by this loss. And look, and it fucking Randall scores 29 and Minnesota advances. Okay, they're beating a team without Steph Curry. Oh, whoa. Weren't the Celtics without Tatum? Oh, shout out to APAP. Thank you so much for the super chat, baby. I really appreciate that. He says, or she, I'm not sure, the biggest game in 25 years for the Knicks, and it becomes Celtics feel-good game. I mean, exactly. So on point. That's what is so mortifying about this. The Knicks were right there. This was their moment to make a statement. Like a very clear statement. We are the team to beat. Instead, they completely shot themselves in the face with this pathetic second half. But let's put the whole game in there. Pathetic performance in Game 5. You allowed your wounded opponent to feel that they can somehow survive this series. And not only that, they fucking spanked your asses by 25 points. Where was the dog? Well, the one guy who I know has dog fouled out. Jalen Brunson. Once he fouled out, it was over. Man, honestly, I'm just in total shock. I'm sorry. I'm just in total shock right now. I just can't believe what happened tonight. The New York. Yes, I get that Celtics are the reigning champions. I totally understand that. They're the reigning champions, but they're without their best player. So, I mean, How much patience do you want from Knicks fans? You guys are really pushing it. Look at this. If you look at this graph, Celtics were ahead most of the game. Just utterly, utterly, utterly unacceptable. Now I'm going to get back to talking about Game 6. Okay. So, Knicks will close it out on Friday at MSG, which will be fantastic for all the fans who spent money for Game 4 and had to watch that embarrassment. Game 3. Sorry, Game 3. And had to watch that embarrassment. So the Knicks are going to come back home. Game 6 is at MSG on Friday. Brunson rarely has two terrible games in a row. I believe Cat will make adjustments. Thibs will have to make adjustments. OG and McCall be as terrible as they were tonight? No. So the Knicks are going to win Game 6, and then they're going to advance. The problem is they're not going to have enough time. I guess they will. But we're talking about a team that has played, especially the starters, way more minutes than any of the other starters in the entire NBA. So now they have to play an additional game, and they're going to go up against the very athletic, run and gun Indiana Pacers. If you drop Game 1 or Game 2 at home, you guys the Knicks could be the Boston Celtics of that series right now. So that's one of the main reasons why I really felt this was a really important game. To just put to bed, get enough rest, and then be able to meet the challenge of the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I do wholeheartedly believe that this New York Knicks team will come back home, do some soul searching, and figure out what went wrong and correct them, and implement a winning strategy for Game 6 and completely take care of business and end up winning 4-2 on Friday night at MSG. That's what I believe is going to happen. And mostly because they have Jalen Brunson as their captain. Mostly because of them. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. I know a lot of people want to give Thibs a lot of credit for this playoff run. I don't. I think Thibs has actually been mostly mediocre. And it's the players that have lifted him beyond what he's capable of. But the problem is when you're in that situation, you're going to get there's moments where there's confusion, there's lack of focus. The players are fragmented, and they might feel a little too good about themselves. When you go up 3-1 against the champions, the reigning champions, even though Tatum, blew his Achilles, Knicks were already up, 10, 12 points by that point? We were going to win that game anyway. So it's not even a thing. But it's a coach's job to get into the player's psyche and prepare them mentally for the task at hand. And this was an absolute failure on Tom Thibodeau's part. If Thibs cannot get this team together for Game 6 and pull off a Game 6 win, and it goes to Game 7, we're going to have to open up discussions of whether Thibs should be fired or not, regardless of what ends up happening. I'm serious about that. Because there's no way, shape, or form this situation should be acceptable. We're not talking. Look, we're not talking about the Celtics with Tatum. that we go, oh yeah, we figured out a way to win game 4 at home. We split at home. We stole the first 2 in Boston. Now we're going up to Boston 3-1. Oh yeah, well they're the champions. It's win or die, life and death. They rise up and they win this game, a hard fought game. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was the exact reverse. They're wounded. They're missing their best player. The game was tied at 59 all at the half, and you guys just fucking shit yourselves in the second half and lost by 25 to a team without their best player. Unacceptable. If Thibs does not get this team into the Eastern Conference Finals on Friday, he will need to be shown the door at some point in the offseason. Oh, we got a super chat from APAP again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. He says, I don't see as a home court adventure, not with this particular group. This should have been Julius Randle's night with us. Hey, right now it's hard to argue with that. It's really hard to argue with that. Man, I you know what? I'm gonna take a few moments to shout out Boston. The players that went on the court, you guys, you fought hard. You won this game completely fair and square. I mean, you took it from the Knicks in that second half. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You deserve to be at least still be alive in this series. Man. I don't even know what else to say. Do I think the Knicks will win Game 6? Yeah, I do. I do think so. This team has like a very fascinating ability to bounce back in very dramatic fashions. So I'm expecting that. And that's one of the reasons why I was a little... The reason I thought we were going to lose tonight, and I never said it out loud, because I can't. I'm not allowed to say things out loud that could go against my own interests. I was once told, don't speak that into the universe. Because I have several times. Lucid Specs, thank you so much for the super chat. Because I have, and then it happens, and then people are upset with me. Because I see what I see, and I saw us losing tonight. I hate to say it. I saw us losing tonight. Because unfortunately, this is one of those teams. This is where I kind of share. I share the attributes. I am the kind of person that needs like a deadline. I need a winner go home, type situation to motivate me in certain aspects in life. And from what I've observed of this team this year, that's what this team needs as well. Unfortunately, we're similar to that way. It's not one of my good attributes. It's not. It's terrible. It's terrible. I was always the kid who was like writing the term paper the morning of. I turn it in, I get an A. If I did turn it in, I get an A. But that's not a formula for ultimate success. I really did believe the Knicks were going to lose this game. So it happened, and I feel terrible about it. But I will say this. I do see the Knicks winning Game 6 in resounding fashion. And for the first time in I can't remember how many years, the New York Knicks will close out a playoff series at home. That's the only only silver lining in this, guys and girls. That's the only silver lining, as far as I see it. That's it. Eric Goldstein, what's up? Keys PB, what's up? Thank you guys for joining me here. Keith Truth, Keith Just Truth, S 1964. That's my birth year, 1964. Boston shut them down. Knicks continue to get blown out. Are they really good as people think? This is a soft team. Cat is not good. Randall way better than him. All around player, bad trade. We'll see. We shall see. I don't agree with that at the moment, but if Cat cannot rise to the occasion and get us that fourth victory in this series, then those words right there will echo very loudly throughout the entire postseason. Andre Townsend says, my Pacers versus Boston ECF or my Pacers versus Knicks ECF. Well, if I were you, I'd rather face the Celtics. Because the Knicks are going to kick the shit out of the Indiana Pacers. I may be frustrated right now. I may be completely disgusted by the Knicks result right now. But there is no way, shape, or form that the New York Knicks, barring injury, will lose to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. If the Knicks get there. There's no guarantee yet. But I'm going to guarantee it. Knicks will close it out at home in Game 6. Cat is not soft. He got called for shit fucking fouls. You want to see it again? All right, Eric. You want to see this? Here you go. This was a foul that was called on Cat. And that completely took him out of the game. So. Nice acting job, Jalen. Nice one. Let's keep going here. We'll look at the team stats. Knicks were out rebounded 44-40. The Celtics got an additional 3 field goal attempts to the New York Knicks. And they made an additional 15 buckets compared to the Knicks. They just took it. They took this game for the New York Knicks. I mean, well done, man. I mean, this was... if you were a Boston Celtics fan, you couldn't have asked for a better result. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Just, horrific for me. The Knicks, who had dominated the points in the paint in Game 4, 64-32. They could not even get... what did they get in the paint? 26. They were outscored 36-26 in the paint. Horrific result right there. The assists. Knicks out-assisted by a plus 10, 27-17. That's a huge disparity right there. Defensive rebounds, 32-28. The offensive rebounds were pretty similar. Knicks at the free throw line, that kind of kept them around the game-ish somewhat. They hit 32 of 40 free throw attempts compared to Celtics 17 of 26. So that was an additional 15 points that the Knicks got at the free throw line alone, which helped to compensate for the disparity in three-point shooting, even though the Knicks shot 40% for the three-point line, but attempted almost 20 less three-point attempts. So if the Knicks shoot more three-pointers and hit them, they might have won this game. Or at least put themselves in a situation where it could have been close towards the end. Inside the arc, they were just horrific. Inside the arc, the New York Knicks were 17 of 51. I can't even tell you what that... I got to look that up. 17 of 51. That is... Knicks shot 33% inside the arc. Holy shit. You can't win in the NBA if you shoot 32% inside the arc. That is just completely shocking numbers right there. And the Knicks once led this game by 9. All right, we're going to wrap this up soon. We've been talking for about an hour. You guys have any specific questions for me? Drop them in right now. I'll try to answer them as best I can. Yes, we're usually over 50% inside the arc. Yeah, I know. We're usually a really, really good, efficient team inside the arc. All right, you know what, man? Look, guys and ladies. Am I surprised? Am I surprised that the Knicks lost tonight? No, I'm not surprised. I've already said I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. Champions, they're champions for a reason, because they have figured out how to win tough games in the playoffs, and they've done it. They have the ring and the trophy to prove it. Yes, they're missing their best player, but they're so deep. They have so many other great players on that roster, and they have a great coach. They have a great chemistry. They believe in each other. They came out tonight, and their whole attitude was, let's just focus on this game and let's win this game. They did it. It's possible the Knicks may have been focusing on other things, and that's totally reasonable. These Knicks have not been to that place before. They haven't been to a finals. They haven't won a championship. So it's easy for them to start looking ahead and let that kind of like fog their perceptions of what's happening, and allow the Celtics to come out and dictate the course of the game. All of this was exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I saw it. I saw it happening. But if this is the Knicks team that I believe it is, that I believe it has been all this year, the team that I have stuck with this entire time, the team that I believed could defeat the Boston Celtics even with a healthy Jason Tatum, if that team is really there, they're going to come out and reverse this score in Game 6 and send Boston on vacation and prepare themselves to meet the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I foresee. That's what I foresee. Thibs had a terrible night tonight, but Thibs, much like Jalen Brunson, rarely have two bad games in a row. Like this bad. This bad. So I trust and believe, based on past history, based on the dynamics of the situation, based on the people that we are talking about here, that the New York Knicks will come home and take care of business and deliver the first closeout victory in a playoff series at home in like 25 years and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I'm hoping. And that's what I see. That's what I believe. I did feel this game was in jeopardy because, look, win or go home. Now, the Celtics are going to come to MSG and they're going to feel like, oh, you know what? You know, we took care of business. We held home court. We're missing our best guy. We've done enough. We've done what we could have done. I'm talking about those are the quiet voices inside people's heads. The subliminally satisfied voices that Jalen Brunson was referring to before, Boston will experience that as well. Whereby the inverse is the Knicks are going to come home and they're going to be desperate and hungry and angry and complete come out with full force in that game 6 at MSG. If I was in New York, that would be the game to go see. That would definitely be the game to go see. All right. This sucked, but there are better times ahead. I believe it. Now it just has to happen. Thank you guys for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Follow me on social media. And hit the thumbs up button for me. Share this video. Or share any of my videos. I would appreciate that. We're over 10,000 subscribers now. I really appreciate everybody subscribing. That was fantastic. I appreciate that. The New York Knicks are going to take care of business on Friday. They have a big challenge ahead of them, but they are going to take care of business on Friday. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. Let's get this game 6. Let's go.